Hey you guys, I want to first of all apologize for the quality of this video because I'm in the process of getting a new camera. I no longer have the camera that I was filming my videos with, and that's why I haven't made one in a while, because I didn't want to make a really crappy video for you guys. But I wanted to tell you guys about something that happened at the last Avegost event so badly that I just have to make a video to tell you about it. So, here we go. Okay, so this last event, I thought that Saga was going to die. I seriously thought that my character was going to be permanently dead. And that's because she got attacked by an NPC. So I'm just gonna tell you guys what happened, and I'm gonna ask my fellow Avegost players not to watch this video because I want them to find out and play what happened to my character. That's really important to me. So, Avegost players, if you're watching right now and you're not a staff member and you don't already know what happened to me, please don't watch this video. Please just find out and play and ask me and play what happened. And let me have the chance to roleplay that with you. So, since I gave you that little LARP spoiler alert, let's go. Okay, so there were these Iridian soldiers on Saturday who had deserted and had stolen a lot of money. Like, more money than my character could ever have imagined spending ever. Like, she could not have spent that much money if she wanted to. It was that much money. And so they stole this. And so this other soldier comes up to our camp and asks us if we can help them and find them and you know, pretty much catch them. Because they had come to our camp and they had been really bugging us for a while, trying to take our stuff and just being a bunch of, you know, really mean and annoying people. Like, I was just sick of them. And so we find them, and they keep denying that they have what we're looking for, which is a wooden box that is filled with all of the money that they stole. They're denying that they have it, but we know that they do. And so we convince them to give us one of their men willingly. And we take him. And we put him on the ground and we tell him to surrender, and he does, and we take his weapons. And then, sorry, there are mosquitoes, and I don't want to be bitten by them. And so we then say, well, who's next? Who's going to surrender next? Because, you know, we're taking all of you. You all have to go. You're all going to be arrested because you've deserted and you've stolen a very large amount of money. I mean, and we were offered a small percentage of that money for helping. And things happen, and one of those men shoot an arrow at us, and one of our men fire an arrow back, and a fight breaks out. But a small fight. A few of their men die, 2 or 3, and one of our men is injured, but he's only unconscious and he'll be fine. Like, he won't be hurt for very long. He'll be okay. And we have a few other men surrendering. We have one injured. And I walk up to them. And I search some of them because they're unconscious. And you know, I find some money and I take it. But it wasn't much, and it was only on one guy. Then, after a little while, they wake up. You know, they're all awake, except for the ones who are dead. And there's one laying on the ground. There's one laying on the ground next to him who I suppose must be dead or something. And there's one on his knees, and Amelie, the witch, as my character views her, or as those who worship Solaris, they call her the Blessed Angel. She, you know, she's guarding the one on his knees, and this one is played by my friend Leon. There's one on the ground who's now conscious, who's being kept down who was injured, I believe. And he was being played by my friend William, who used to actually be a roommate of mine. And I go up to this man on the ground, and I talk to him, and I'm just talking to him, and he tells me that when this is over with, he's going to kill me. This really angers me, and I take my dagger, and for the first time ever in play, I used it, and I just barely cut the back of his right calf. And he screams, and he calls me a bitch over and over. And then his friend, sitting on his knees, says that I can't do that, and that that's torture. And I say that I told him to shut up, and that he can't say that to me. He cannot tell me that he's going to kill me and not expect a punishment. He's already going to be arrested. I don't mind getting in trouble for what I did. I felt like he deserved it. He spoke to me in that way, and he told me he was going to kill me, and I only cut his leg. I could have done much worse, and I really wanted to. And I went up to this man on his knees, this guy's friend, and I said he deserved what I did. I told him to shut up, and he told me he was going to kill me, and he deserved what he got. And his friend looks at me and says, well then I guess that you're a filthy whore. And I just walked up so close to him, and Amelie says, Saga, please, no, it's not worth it. Just leave it alone. And I said, no. Have you searched this one yet? And she said, no. I said, watch him. And I'm going to search him. And I begin to search him, and I'm holding this dagger in this hand, and I have already put my sword in my frog. Okay, and I had actually killed one of the men with my sword prior to this. Right? I start to search him. I think I start to search him on his left side, and I'm patting him, and I'm searching his pockets and looking for any pouches. And I start to move over to his right side, and he's on his knees, and his arms are behind his back. And suddenly, it was all in a split second, so I can hardly remember what happened. Like, I don't have a visual. I just have a visual of like 3 still images of like the beginning, the middle, and the end of the whole ordeal in my mind. But somehow he grabs me, and he stands up, and we're struggling for my dagger, and somehow he gets it. And apparently I don't know how to describe it, so I did this koala bear thing where I wrapped my arms up, and I was trying to use my arms to either grab his arms or the dagger or just keep him from moving, and I'd wrap my legs around him to keep him from moving and walking, and to try to use my weight to bring him down and just to hold him still. I was just I couldn't think. I was about to get stabbed, and it was just terrifying, and I just couldn't think. It happened so quickly, and he has it like this, and his arms are like this, and I try to use my arms, and I'm grabbing him here, and we're struggling, and finally he manages to hit me here really hard here, and then multiple stabs here, across here, and after the first hit I fell unconscious and then hit the ground, and then I was unconscious, but out of game, of course. I heard the guy's friend, the one whose leg I cut, laugh, and he just was cackling and laughing so loud, and he was like, I told you that she was gonna die, we were gonna kill her, that's what she gets, ha 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 ha, just laughing and saying that I got what I deserved and that they were going to kill me. And Marius, the companion of my character, I guess. I killed him with his axe, just hacked him and just killed him. And then they had to like run and send for help. They had to search for one of these guys, like one of these soldier guys' friends who was a surgeon. And eventually, after a very long time, like my character would have died if it hadn't been for Amelie bandaging me and keeping pressure on my wounds for the entire time. It felt like an hour. And finally, one came back and he performed surgery on me. And after a while, I was able to slowly make it back to camp, and I rested for a while. But also, after all that, the guy who did the surgery on me made a deal apparently to only do it if we agreed to give him all of that money that we had confiscated that those guys had stolen. But apparently Marius and Amelie had made this deal and lied, and they had no intentions of giving him that money, and they had every intention of taking him and arresting him just like all the other men. And so I ordered one of our men to knock him out and tie him up, but he didn't do a good job, so I had to re-tie him up. Then we took him back to the camp, and then eventually he was taken away. And my character will now have a lot of scarring here, and even more scarring here on her chest. And she is definitely going to be investing in armor soon so that this doesn't happen again. And I imagine that her temper might get even worse